I begin with reverence to Narayana, Nara, the Supreme Spirit, and Saraswati, chanting the word victory. Ugrashrava, son of Romaharshana, a bard and expert in ancient lore, arrived respectfully at the Naimisha forest, where great sages, known for their unwavering discipline, were relaxing after Sonaka Kulapati's 12-year ritual. The sages, eager for Ugrashrava's captivating stories, welcomed him warmly to their forest retreat. He greeted them with joined hands, asking about their spiritual progress. As the sages settled, Ugrashrava humbly took the seat they offered. Seeing him comfortable and rested from his travels, a sage asked, "Soti, with your bright lotus-like eyes, where have you been and what have you been up to? Tell us everything." Soti is another name for Ugrashrava. Soti, articulate and thoughtful, spoke at length to the revered assembly, using clear, dignified language that matched their ascetic lifestyle. He said, "I heard the incredible sacred stories of the Mahabharata, composed by Krishna Dwaipayana and narrated by Vaisampayana, at King Janemajaya's snake sacrifice, a noble warrior and son of Parikshit." Krishna Dwaipayana is another name for Vyasa, the author of the Mahabharata. After that, I traveled the world, visiting holy waters and shrines, including Samanta Panchaka, sacred to the knowledgeable, where the Kurus and Pandavas fought their epic war with all the warriors of the land. Then, anxious to see you, I've come here. You revered sages, shining like the solar fire in a ritual hall, are like the divine Brahma to me. You've completed your silent meditations and tended the sacred fire, and now you're at ease without care. Tell me, wise ones, what do you want to hear? Should I share the sacred tales of the Puranas, full of religious duty and worldly profit, or the acts of illustrious saints and sovereigns of mankind? The sages replied, "We want to hear the Purana composed by the great Dwaipayana, praised by gods and holy sages as the greatest of all historical epics. It's varied in style and structure, rich with deep, subtle meanings, drawn logically from the Vedas, and it's a sacred masterpiece. Written in beautiful language, it covers every topic, is supported by other scriptures, and captures the core of the four Vedas. We are eager to hear that history, also called Bharata, the holy composition of the wonderful Vyasa, which dispels the fear of evil, just as Vaisampayana joyfully told it at Janamajaya's snake sacrifice, guided by Dwaipayana himself." Soti responded, "I honor the eternal being Ishana, worshipped by all, the true and timeless Brahman, both perceptible and imperceptible, the universe and distinct from it, creator of high and low, ancient, exalted, inexhaustible. He is Vishnu, embodiment of kindness and beneficence, pure and perfect, worthy of all reverence, the ruler of all faculties, the guide of everything living and still. I'll now share the sacred thoughts of the enlightened sage Vyasa, whose marvelous deeds you all respect. Some bards have already spread this history, others are teaching it now, and more will share it across the world in the future. It's a vast treasure of knowledge, renowned across the three realms, possessed by the knowledgeable in both detailed and concise forms. The knowledgeable cherish it for its elegant expressions, divine and human dialogues, and varied poetic rhythms. Long ago, when the world was shrouded in darkness, a cosmic egg appeared, the inexhaustible seed of creation, called Mahadivya. This great wisdom emerged at the start of the age, when Brahman, the eternal true light, was everywhere, the subtle cause of both entity and non-entity. From this egg came Brahma, the first creator, with Vishnu and Shiva, followed by 21 creators. Manu, Vashishta, Parameshti, 10 Prachetas, Daksha and his 7 sons. Then came the mysterious Purusha, known to sages along with divine beings like the Viswadevas, Adityas, Vasus, Aswin twins, Yakshas, Sadhyas, Pisachas, Guyakas, and ancestors. Then came the mysterious Purusha, known to sages along with divine beings like the Vishwadevas, Adityas, Vasus, Aswin twins, Yakshas, Sadhyas, Pisachas, Guyakas, and ancestors. After them came wise and holy sages, noble warrior kings, and all elements of creation: water, heavens, earth, air, sky, directions, years, seasons, months, fortnights, days, and nights. Everything known to humanity was created. At the end of an age, all things, living and non-living, dissolve and are confounded, only to be renovated in the next age, like fruits succeeding seasons, cycling endlessly without beginning or end. Thus, this wheel of creation perpetually revolves, causing the destruction and rebirth of all things. The divine beings numbered 33,333. The sons of Dev included Brihadbhanu, Chakshus, Atma, Vibhavasu, Savita, Richika, Arka, Bhanu, Asavaha, and Ravi. Among these ancient Vivaswans, Mahaya was the youngest, whose son was Devavrata. Devavrata's son, Suvrata, had 3 sons, Dasya Jyoti, Satya Jyoti, and Sahasra Jyoti, each with countless descendants. Dasa Jyoti had 10,000, Satya Jyoti 10 times that, and Sahasra Jyoti 10 times more. From them came the Kurus, Yadus, Bharatas, Yayati's line, Ikshvaku's line, and many warrior kings. Their generations were numerous, as were the creatures and their homes. Vyasa saw the mysteries of the Vedas, yoga, knowledge, duty, wealth, and desire, along with rules for human conduct and various sacred teachings, all laid out in order as examples of scripture. He included insights on decay, fear, disease, existence, non-existence, creeds, modes of life, duties of the 4 castes, asceticism, the dimensions of the sun, moon, planets, stars, and the 4 ages, as well as the Rik, Sama, and Yajurvedas, philosophy, sciences like Nyaya, orthophy, and medicine, charity, Pashupata Dharma, divine and human births, sacred places like rivers, mountains, forests, and oceans, cosmic cycles, the art of war, nations, languages, customs, and the all-pervading spirit. He shared this vast knowledge in both detailed and abridged forms, and scholars always seek both versions. Some start the Bharata with its opening chant, others with Astika's story of Uparicharas, while some study the entire epic. Scholars show their expertise by explaining or recalling its contents. Through deep meditation and penance, Vyasa, son of Satyavati and Parasara, analyzed the eternal Vedas and crafted this sacred history. After completing this greatest of narrations, he wondered how to pass it on to his disciples and future generations. Brahma, the world's teacher with divine qualities, sensed Vyasa's concern and appeared before him to fulfill his wish for humanity's benefit. Surrounded by sages, Vyasa stood in awe, bowed with joined hands, circled Brahma, known as Hiranyagarbha, and offered him a distinguished grass seat. Brahma invited Vyasa to sit close, and Vyasa, full of joy and affection, complied, smiling. He said, "Divine Brahma, I've written a poem that's highly valued. It explains the Vedas, Upanishad rituals, Puranas, and histories, covering past, present, and future, the nature of decay, fear, disease, existence, and non-existence, creeds and modes of life, rules for the four castes, and the duties of a religious student, the sun, moon, planets, constellations, and ages. The Rik, Sama, and Yajurvedas, philosophy, medicine, charity, and spiritual practices, divine and human births, sacred places, rivers, mountains, forests, oceans, cosmic cycles, warfare, nations, languages, customs, and the all-pervading spirit. But I can't find anyone on earth to write it down." Brahma replied, "Among these holy sages, I honor your profound knowledge of divine truths. You've revealed the sacred word in truth, calling it a poem, and it will be unmatched, just as the householder's life outshines other stages of life. Let Ganesha be your scribe for this epic." Sati continued, "After speaking, Brahma returned to his realm. Vyasa thought of Ganesha, who, as the remover of obstacles, appeared instantly. Welcomed and seated, Vyasa said, "O leader of the Ganas, please write down the Bharata as I narrate it from my mind." Ganesha replied, "I'll do it, but my pen, crafted from my own tusk, must never stop." Vyasa countered, "Pause if you don't understand something." Ganesha agreed with Om and prepared to write. Vyasa began weaving a complex tale with intricate knots of composition to keep Ganesha engaged, dictating faster than the god could write, ensuring his pen, made from his own tusk, paused only when puzzled. As Vyasa stayed one step ahead, Sati added, "I know 8,800 verses, as do Sukha and perhaps Sanjaya. Their meanings are so deep and mysterious that even Ganesha paused to think, while Vyasa kept composing in great abundance. This epic opens the world's eyes, blinded by ignorance, like kohl or kajal enhances vision. It dispels ignorance with teachings on duty, wealth, desire, and liberation, like the sun banishes darkness. It reveals sacred truths, blooming the mind like a full moon opens water lilies. By the lamp of history, it illuminates the entire mansion of nature. This epic is a tree. Its contents are the seed. Poloma and Astika, the roots, Sambhava, the trunk, Sabha and Aranya, roosting perches, Arani, knitting knots, Virata and Udyoga, the pith, Bhishma, the main branch, Drona, leaves, Karna, fair flowers, Salya, their sweet fragrance, Stri and Eshika, refreshing shade, Shanti, mighty fruit, Ashwamedha, immortal sap, Ashramavasika, the soil where it grows, and Mosala, a Vedic essence revered by the virtuous. This inexhaustible Bharata tree sustains all great poets." Sati continued, "Now I'll share the undying flower and fruit of this tree, pure and delightful beyond the gods' reach." At Bhishma and Satyavati's urging, Vyasa fathered 3 sons, Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura, like three fires, on Vichitra Virya's wives, then returned to his spiritual practice. Only after their birth, growth, and passing did Vyasa share the Bharata with the world. When Janamajaya and thousands of priests urged him, Vyasa instructed Vaisampayana to recite it during breaks in the snake sacrifice rituals. Vyasa detailed the Kuru dynasty's greatness, Gandhari's virtue, Vidura's wisdom, Kunti's steadfastness, Krishna's divinity, the Pandavas' righteousness, and the wickedness of Dhritarashtra's sons and allies. The core Bharata, without side stories, is 24,000 verses, recognized by scholars. Vyasa later wrote a 150-verse summary, taught first to his son Sukha and then to other gifted disciples. He also composed 6 million verses, 3 million for the gods, 1.5 million for ancestors, 1.4 million for Gandharvas, and 100,000 for humans. Narada recited it to the gods, Devala to ancestors, Sukha to Gandharvas, Yakshas and Rakshasas, and Vaisampayana, a righteous Vedic scholar, to humans. I, Soti Ugrashrava, have also recited 100,000 verses. Yudhishthira is a vast tree of spirituality and duty. Arjuna its trunk, Bhima branches, Nakula and Sahadeva full-grown fruit and flowers, Krishna, Brahma and priests its roots. After conquering many kingdoms, Pandu lived with sages in a forest. While hunting, he tragically killed a mating stag, bringing a severe misfortune that served as a warning for his sons' lives. To fulfill household duties, Kunti and Madri invoked demigods, Dharma, Vayu, Indra, and the Aswin twins, who fathered their sons. Raised by their mothers among hermits in sacred groves, the Pandavas were brought to Hastinapura by sages dressed as students with topknots. The sages said, "These are your sons, brothers, and friends, the Pandavas," then vanished. When the Kauravas saw them introduced, citizens shouted for joy, though some doubted their lineage, saying Pandu had been long dead, while others affirmed they were his sons. Voices rang out, "They are welcome! Divine will has restored Pandu's family!" Invisible spirits cheered. Showers of sweet, scented flowers fell, and conches and kettle drums sounded, filling the heavens with tremendous plaudits. The Pandavas, versed in the Vedas and other scriptures, lived in Hastinapura, respected and fearless. The city admired Yudhishthira's purity, Bhima's strength, Arjuna's courage, Kunti's respect for elders, and the twins' humility. Later, Arjuna won Draupadi at her Swamvara by mastering a tough archery challenge, earning fame as the world's greatest archer, dazzling in battle like the sun. He and Bhima defeated neighboring warriors, enabling Yudhishthira to perform the grand Rajasuya sacrifice, earning great merit. With Krishna's cleverness and their valor, Yudhishthira killed the invincible Jarasandha and proud Sishupala. Duryodhana, attending the sacrifice, the Rajasuya sacrifice, envied the Pandavas' wealth, gems, gold, livestock, silks, furs, and carpets of Ranku skin. The magnificent hall built by the demon architect Maya, designed like a celestial court with clever illusions, fueled Duryodhana's jealousy. When Maya's architectural deceptions tripped him up, Bhima mocked him in front of Draupadi, treating him like a man of low birth. Dhritarashtra heard that Duryodhana, despite his luxuries, was wasting away, consumed by envy, becoming meager and pale. Out of love for his son, foolishly indulging his thoughtless folly despite his own blindness, Dhritarashtra allowed Duryodhana to conduct a dice game against the Pandavas. Krishna, furious, did nothing to stop it, nor did Vidura, Bhishma, Drona, or Kripa, and the game's dire consequences sparked a war that nearly wiped out the warrior race. Please remember to leave a rating or review on this podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And do check out my author profile and book, Who God Really Is, on Amazon.com today. When Dhritarashtra learned the Pandavas won, he recalled Duryodhana, Karna, and Shakuni's schemes. He spoke to his charioteer and advisor, Sanjaya. Listen closely, Sanjaya, and don't dismiss me. You're wise in scriptures and intelligent. I never wanted this war or my race's destruction. I treated my sons and Pandus equally, but my willful sons mocked my age and blindness. Blind as I am, through paternal affection, I bore their folly, foolishly indulging Duryodhana's growing recklessness. He, envious of the Pandavas' wealth and humiliated in their hall, couldn't challenge them in fair combat. Instead, he and the Gandhara king rigged a dice game with loaded dice. Hear what happened next, and you'll see I foresaw our defeat. Dhritarashtra recounted moments that crushed his hopes. Arjuna winning Draupadi by hitting a tough target, marrying Subhadra with Krishna and Balarama's support, defying Indra's storm to please Agni by burning Gandhava forest, escaping a house trap with Vidura's help, gaining the Panchala's alliance, Bhima killing Jarasandha barehanded, the Pandavas' Rajasuya success, Draupadi's humiliation in court, dragged in a single garment during her impurity, unprotected despite her guardians, her miraculous protection when Dushasana failed to strip her, drawing only a heap of cloth. Yudhishthira's loyalty despite losing his kingdom at dice, noble priests following him into exile to ease his hardships. Arjuna earning Shiva's Pashupatashtra, his divine weapon, and Indra's divine weapons in celestial realms, defeating invincible demons like the Kalakeyas and Polomas, reaching inaccessible lands with Vaisravana, freeing Duryodhana's captured sons from Gandharvas, Yudhishthira answering Dharma's questions as a yaksha, evading detection in Virata's kingdom, Arjuna single-handedly defeating Kuru warriors there, Krishna's allegiance to the Pandavas, Arjuna accepting Uttara for his son Abhimanyu, Yudhishthira raising a massive army of 7 Akshahinis despite exile, Narada declaring Krishna and Arjuna as divine Nara and Narayana, Krishna's failed peace mission, showing his cosmic form to thwart capture, consoling Prita, Bhishma, Drona, and Krishna blessing the Pandavas, Karna refusing to fight under Bhishma, Krishna guiding Arjuna through doubt with a vision of all worlds, Bhishma sparing the Pandavas despite killing 10,000 charioteers daily, Bhishma revealing how to defeat him, joyfully accomplished by the Pandavas, Arjuna felling Bhishma with Sikandin's help, Arjuna quenching Bhishma's thirst by piercing the ground with an arrow. Demigods like Vayu, Indra, and Surya supporting the Pandavas. Beasts of prey signaling the Kauravas' defeat. Drona's failure to kill the Pandavas. Arjuna defeating the Samsaptakas. Abhimanyu breaching Drona's formation but being brutally killed, prompting Arjuna's vow to slay Jayadratha. Arjuna avenging him by killing Jayadratha. Krishna saving Arjuna's fatigued horses and guiding them. Arjuna holding enemies at bay alone. Satyaki breaking Drona's elephant ranks. Karna sparing Bhima, failing to save Jayadratha. Using Indra's weapon on Gatotkacha instead of Arjuna. Drishtadyumna killing an unresisting Drona. Nakula matching Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama's failed Narayanastra. Bhima drinking Dushasana's blood. Arjuna killing Karna. Yudhishthira defeating Ashwatthama, Dushasana, and Kritavarma, killing the Madra king. Sahadeva slaying Shakuni. Duryodhana hiding in a lake, taunted and unfairly struck down. Ashwatthama's massacre of sleeping Panchalas and Draupadi's sons. Ashwatthama wounding Uttara's unborn child with the Eshika weapon. Arjuna countering Ashwatthama's Brahmashira weapon and pronouncing Shasti. Ashwatthama giving up his jewel-like excrescence, and Vyasa and Krishna cursing Ashwatthama. Dhritarashtra lamented, I pity Gandhari, now childless, her family gone. The Pandavas' hard-won victory left no rivals. Only 10 survived, 3 of ours, 7 of theirs, after 18 armies perished. Darkness surrounds me, Sanjaya, and a fit of swoon assails me. Consciousness leaves me, and I'm losing my mind. Overcome by extreme anguish, he fainted, then said, I see no point in living. Sanjaya, the wise son of Gavalgana, calmed the king, saying, You've heard Vyasa and Narada speak of great warriors. Saibhya, Srinjaya, Suhotra, Rantideva, Kakshivanta, Valhika, Damana, Saryati, Ajita, Nala, Vishwamitra, Amvarisha, Maruta, Manu, Ikshaku, Gaya, Bharata, Rama, Sasavindu, Bhagirata, Kritavirya, Janamajaya, Yayati, and others like Puru, Kuru, Yadu, Sura, Vishwasrava, Anuha, Yuvanasvu, Kakuksta, Vikrami, Raghu, Vijava, Virihorta, Anga, Bhava, Sweta, Vripad Guru, Usinara, Satarata, Kanka, Duliduha, Druma, Dambodbhava, Para, Vena, Sagara, Sankriti, Nimi, Ajeya, Parasu, Pundra, Sambhu, Devavridha, Devahuya, Supratika, Viradrata, Mahatsaha, Vinit Atma, Sukratu, Nala of the Nishadas, Satyavrata, Santabhaya, Sumitra, Subala, Janujanga, Anaranya, Arka, Priyabhritya, Kuchivrata, Balabandhu, Nirmarda, Ketusringa, Bridbala, Drishtaketu, Brihatketu, Driptaketu, Niramaya, Abhikshit, Chapala, Durta, Kritbandhu, Dridde Suddhi, Mahapurana Sambhavya, Pratyanga, Paraha, and Sruti, who conquered with virtue, performed grand sacrifices, yet fell to time. Countless noble kings, full of wisdom, valor, generosity, faith, truth, purity, and mercy, also died, their virtues recorded by sacred bards. Your sons, driven by greed, malice, and evil, were unlike them. You know the scriptures and fate's ways, its lenity and severity. Don't grieve what's inevitable. No one can avert the decrees of providence. Time creates and destroys all, life, death, joy, pain. It's unstoppable, burning and extinguishing all creatures. Time is awake when all else sleeps, passing over everything without delay. Knowing all things are offspring of time, don't abandon reason. Sati said, Sanjaya's words eased Dhritarashtra's grief. Vyasa used these arguments to craft a holy Upanishad, shared through Puranas by educated bards. Studying the Mahabharata is an act of devotion. Even 1 foot of a verse read with faith cleanses sins. It speaks of gods, sages, yakshas, nagas, and the eternal Vasudeva, the true and just Brahman, the supreme soul, the constant light, source of all creation and rebirth. It describes the superintending spirit of nature, seen by enlightened ascetics in meditation as a reflected image. Reciting or hearing this introduction, especially at dawn or dusk, frees one from sins contracted during day or night and prevents difficulties. The Bharata is truth and nectar, supreme among histories, like butter in curd. Aranyaka among the Vedas, nectar among medicines, the sea among waters, or the cow among animals. Reciting it at ancestral rites makes offerings boundless. The Vedas need histories and Puranas to be understood, but fear misinterpretation by those with little knowledge. Studying Vyasa's Bharata brings great reward, absolving even grave sins like killing an embryo. Daily listening grants long life, fame, and heaven. Long ago, the gods weighed the Bharata against the 4 Vedas with their mysteries, and found it heavier, naming it Mahabharata for its substance and gravity. Understanding it frees one from all sins. Spiritual practices, study, Vedic ordinances, and ethical wealth are harmless, but their misuse breeds evil. Thanks for joining me on today's Naked Hindu Tales episode. Leave a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and ask me any spiritual or non-spiritual question you have in your review. I'll be sure to answer your question in a future episode for the benefit of all. Check out my profile and my books on Amazon.com. This is Sanika Tyagi. Thanks for listening, and I'll speak with you in the next episode.